Hey everyone, here. We are back with another video. So today we have a covering all the series and the bundle of the games. So without wasting any time, let's get to the video. So the first bundles is coming up from the S.T.A.L.K.E.R bundle. So S.T.A.L.K.E.R bundle is currently 75% off, which is 212, almost like a $2 and few cents. So which have the deals like S.T.A.L.K.E.R, Call of Pripyat, Clear Sky and Shadow of Chernobyl. So these are individually gonna cost you like 141, less than $2, 92, which is just $1, and Chernobyl will be 141, $1 and few cents. But overall, if you're gonna buy all of this, you're gonna save all around like a $2 on this, which is 212, almost like a $2 and few cents. So that's a great deal. And for the S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 story immersive and the lore perspective, if you want to experience, then I will suggest you that buy this one and have all these experience before you jump into the S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 and get all the stories behind. It's all up to you, but currently this is on deal. So let's get to this deal now. Moving to the next bundle is coming. Moving to the next game is the Crysis Remastered Trilogy, which is 75% off, 523, almost like a $5 to $6, in which you have all the Crysis remastered versions, have 4K supports, and all the HD versions of the textures and shadows has already been added to the 1, 2 and 3. I'll say 1 and 2 is the pretty fantastic games. 3 is the more further story progresses after the prophets and all. So these are the games which just totally was the time when these games was the peak, and it was the remarkable settings to test the every graphics card. So I think this is a great deal. 75% off, 523, almost like a $5 to $6. So go, it's worth to check it out. Moving to the next game is coming up from my favorite, which is Batman Arkham Trilogy. So Batman Arkham Trilogy Collections has 85% off, 202, in which you will get the Batman Arkham Knight, the Batman Arkham Season Pass, and Batman Arkham Asylum Game of the Year and Batman Arkham City Game of the Year edition. These three games and the DLCs and all the costumes and skins has already included in it, which is phenomenally great deal. 85% off, 202, almost like a $2 and few cents. So if you still haven't bought it, so this is the great time to experience all the Batman games, and this is the best game that Rockstar Studio has just built up, and great Batman games with all open world experience, fightings and the graphics, everything on the top notch. So this is the great deal, so go worth to check it out. Moving to the next game is coming up from the Middle Earth Shadow Bundle, which is 90% off, 379, almost like a $3 to $4, in which they have the Shadows of War, Shadows of Mordor expansions and all the Game of the Year editions, and including all these DLCs. So individually this is gonna cost around like 600, which is almost like a $6 to $7, but if you're gonna buy this on a bundle, you will get 379, almost like a $3 to $4. So you will experience all these stories from the Middle Earth and Lord of the Rings as well. The stories resemble from taken from the inspirations from the Lord of the Rings, but it games has a nemesis system, which is a kind of unique to this game only. We can't see your nemesis system because it's been patented to this game only. So Warner Bros has the right of it. So this is the great deal. 90% off, 379, almost like a $3 to $4. Just go add it to library. Moving to the next game is coming up from the Metro Saga bundle. Metro Saga bundle is 88% off, 524, almost like a $5 to $6, in which you have the Metro Redux 2033, Metro Last Night Redux, which is on a deal, and Metro Exodus, which is the latest segment of the Metro series, and the new Metro games is upcoming. Is been announced, but it's currently working on. So I think this is the great game for post-apocalyptic era. The civilizations are now submerged after the nuclear weapons and all this stuff. Artyom has contacted to the aliens. He trying to communicate with that. All these series are going to move further, and the great stories behind it, which is based on totally on the novels. So that's a great deal. 88% off, 524, almost like a $5 to $6. so worth to check it out. Moving to the next game is coming up from the Tomb Raider Definitive Survivor Trilogy, 90% off, $559, almost like a $5 to $6, in which you have the Tomb Raider reboot, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and all the DLCs, and Shadows of the Tomb Raider, and all the DLCs including to it. So which is kind of a great deal right now, which you have to experience all these new reboot collections from the Lara Croft, which has going on new adventures, new places, new Trinity to hunt, and also the first game is to find the Trinities behind her, then she's hunting them, and quite a bit of surviving and saving the peoples from the artifact which can be stolen by the Trinities and all stuff. So this is the kind of great games and great stories. So 90% off, $559, almost like a $5 to $6, worth to check it out. Moving to the next game is coming up from the Souls-like game, which is Surge 1 and Surge 2 bundle pack. So Surge 1, Surge 2, 87% off, $263, almost like a $2 to $3. So in which you have a Surge 1 and 2 included on the dual pack. So you get a lot of experience on this playing a Souls-like game with kind of mechs, and also the components and mechanics they have included, which is a great and kind of a unique to its own, which has you fight every enemies, you take their tech, mech, scraps, and build up your own armors and weapons to it, and also they have every enemies have different movesets. All this kind of Souls likes, you know how they work. So currently 87% off, $263, that's a great deal, $2 to $3, it's worth to check it out. Moving to the next game is coming up from this Deus Ex Collection, in which you have Deus Ex Game of the Year, Invisible War, Fall, Human Revolution, and Mankind Divided, and including all their DLCs, which is 89% off, $476, almost like a $5. So in which you have inspectors or a detective which takes the missions and all. You lost your arms, you kind of have a bionic arms and all the stuff, so you can totally take downs and all, highly tech embedded in your body, so you can complete your missions according to it, and that's the story begins further on. So that's a great deal right now, 99%, $476, almost like $5. That's a great deal, so it's worth to check it out. Moving to the next game is coming up from the Doom franchise bundle. So Doom franchise bundle is 73% off, 1,330 rupees, almost like a $15, in which you have the Doom 64 versions and Nintendo NES versions. You have 64, Doom 1 and Doom 2 and Doom 3 and Doom Reboot 1, which was released on 2016, and Doom Eternal Deluxe Edition. So new Doom is coming up from the next year, so I think this is the great deal right now to experience all these Dooms franchises in the games, when you can have the shooting, gunning, gore, action, great soundtrack, and also a lot of glory kills and tons of weapons for the different kind of weird weapons as well, which kind of like a cool. So it's a great deal, 73% off, 1,330, almost like a $14 to $15. That's a great deal right now. Moving to the next game is coming up from the Sniper Elite series. So Sniper Elite series is an 85% off, $816, almost like a $9 to $10. So you have this Sniper Elite, Sniper V2 remastered version, Sniper Elite 3, 4, and 5. These all gonna cost you around $816, $917, sorry for that, but individually you're gonna buy it's cost you more, but I think you can save a few dollars, $1 few cents. So it will be around $816, almost 85% off, in which you will play as a sniper which takes part in every battlefield and every phenomenal and pivotal moments of the battlefield which you need to save on, like the World War I, World War II, Germany battles, and American battles. These are the battles based on the history, on the fantasy places, so they have totally hit on a target with phenomenally great sniping games, as you can say. So Bullet Camp is a great one, so that's a great deal, 85% off, $816, so it's worth to check it out. Moving to the next game, it's coming up from the BioShock bundle. So BioShock bundle is 80% off, $349, almost like a $3 to $4, in which you have a BioShock Remastered, BioShock 2 Remaster, and BioShock Infinite remastered versions as well, which has a new kind of a little patch they have added to the graphics, but they also included the DLC into it, which is kind of a nice one. And also the BioShocks has already been famous for the the guns and swords, story rich action single players, and all these new mechanics where you can have all the storylines based on the dystopian version of these different scenarios and places. So 80% off, 349, almost great deal. So worth to check it out. Moving to the next game is coming up from the Mirror's Edge series, which has Mirror's Edge 1, which is 90% off, 119, almost like a $1 a few cents. And the same prices for Mirror's Edge Catalyst, which is 119, $1 a few cents as well. So these are the first parkour games, I can say the best one. Mirror's Edge, we can experience the action adventure first person parkour in which you travel along the cities on the skyscrapers, doesn't hit the land, just you need to traverse all the missions through the parkour and the buildings upon buildings and taking all the narrow paths and the sliding around the buildings. So these are the games which is great to have a parkour systems and all the cool games storylines. So 90% off, 119, both of the games are on the same price, so this is a great deal right now. Moving to the next game is coming up from the Sniper Ghost Warrior Contract series, which I can say Sniper Ghost Warrior Contract 2 is 199, almost like $2 a few cents. Sniper Ghost Warrior Contract is 199, almost like $2 a few cents as well. Sniper Ghost Warrior 3 is 109, almost $1 a few cents. Sniper Ghost Warrior 2 is $72, less than not dollar, rupees, less than even $1. Sniper Ghost Warrior, which is the first one in 2011, which is even half of the dollars. So that's a great deal from the tactical sniper games, and you got the real recoil systems and all this realistic sniping scenarios, and the missions are there. So this is the great sniping games from the Sniper Ghost Warrior series, and also from these Sniper Elite as well. So both have the great cool games, so you can have a lot of fun with playing into all that. So that's a great deal. Moving to the next game is coming up from the Wolfenstein Alt History Collections, which is 85% off, 708, almost like a $9, which you can have the Old Blood, Wolfenstein 2, New Colossus, the New Order, and the Young Blood. Young Blood is quite a bit of not that good enough, but all these three games are pretty fine and pretty fantastic, and having a lot of fun to playing on that with all these dual guns, dual machine guns, dual RPGs and all that stuff. So these are the great ones. So Young Bloods will get you free as well, so if you want to buy individually you can buy, but I think this is a great deal. 85% off, 708, almost like a $9, so it's a great right now. Moving to the next game is coming up from the Fears Collections. So Fear Collections is 90% off, 107, almost like a $1 a few cents. So I will suggest this is a great game from the horror FPS action bullet time in the classic genre, which the Fear 3 was the latest segment, which was 2011. We didn't got any follow-up sequels from that, so it's a kind of an sad thing, but I still say if you wanted to experience, this is currently on a deal, so I will totally suggest to buy this game if you want to have these horror FPS games with the gunfights and action multiplayer shooter. So 90% off, 107, almost like $1 a few cents, so it's worth to check it out. Moving to the next game is coming up from this Serious Sam series. So Serious Sam HD versions have 47 rupees, almost half of the dollars, 90% off. Serious Sam 2 is 48 rupees, almost half of the dollars. Serious Sam 3 is the HD edition, which has 90% off, 130, almost like $1 and few cents. Serious Sam 4 is 80% off, 320, almost like a $3 to $4. And Serious Sam Mayhem, Siberian Mayhem, which is the next segment from this Serious Sam 4, which is 50% off, 440, almost like a $4 to $5. So that's a great deal from the Serious Sam. If you are a great fan of the Serious Sam, playing a lot of gunfights, action, gore, and hordes of monsters, FPS and co-op, these are the games which kind of remember from the Doom-like, but it's totally different like that, and the stories are totally different from the Dooms and all this stuff. So it's a great game to have all the fun with the gameplays and all. So this is the all deals from the series and the bundles from today. The next part will be coming up soon. So thank you for watching this video. I'll meet you in the next video. Till then, keep gaming. Nubka Soap out here.
Yeah, boy.